Okay, Chris, what you got? What you got for what Steam Deck fans ain't trying to hear no excuses around here. What you got for these people? Talk. What's up, people? Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Hope your health and strength is good. What? And to you Steam Deck fans again, Steam Deck Tribe, Steam Deck Nation, Steam Deck Universe, Steam Deck World, Steam Deck Legion. What's up? Steam Deck Mob. The Steam Deck Squad. What's up with it? What's up, PC nerds and geeks and freaks? What's up with it? All right. So, you PC gamers, aka Steam Deck players. Really? So let me get this straight. You were responsible for 52% of Capcom sales. Really? What games were you guys playing on PC and Steam Deck? Capcom games. 52%. Listen to this. It says here, Capcom, 50% of Capcom game sales now comes from PC. Says here, Capcom management has confirmed that PC is a very important platform for a Japanese publisher, with 50% of total video game sales coming from PC. Man, look, you Japanese, Asians, Steam Deck players. I want all the smoke when it comes to Street Fighter. I'm sitting here playing here. Let me keep going here. It says here, Capcom has confirmed that half of its video game sales for the second quarter period were made on PC. It says here, today Capcom published an English translation of its second quarter fiscal year Q&A session with investors, which reveals some interesting tidbits about the company presence on PC. According to Capcom management, game sales on PC made up 50% of its unit sales for second quarter period, July and September 2022. That's in parentheses. And then it says, what is the ratio of PC sales to total unit sales in your consumer sub segment at the end of the second quarter in the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2023. And it says approximately 50%, with primarily catalog titles sales growing. It says Capcom sold a total of 9.6 million games during the second quarter period, the most of these sales being made overseas and from catalog title sales. These proportional shares reveal that Capcom sold approximately 4.8 million games. Capcom sold approximately 4.8 million games on PC during the period. It says here, this certainly accounts for a significant jump in the percentage of digital games for the quarter. According to Capcom filing, digital sales account for a whopping 95% of its unit sales for the period, or 9.12 million units. PC games are all digital, so we know that PC made up 52% of total digital sales for Capcom's second quarter. Yeah, the PC gaming community is big, man. Very big. It says here, PC gaming platform has become increasingly important for Japanese game publisher. Sega, Square, Konami, and Capcom have all realized that the value and potential of the platform by re-releasing a plethora of classic bundles as well as new live games. Capcom has successfully capitalized on the market with a multitude of release as well as powerful Monster Hunter World live game. And that's it. So 50% of PC gamers make up 52% of Capcom game sales, and 52% goes to digital sales. That means during the pandemic, PC gamers were gaming. They were gaming on Capcom, and for Sega, Konami, Square, same thing. They during during the pandemic, during the pandemic, uh, during the pandemic, digital sales went up because remember the stores were closed and you couldn't go to a game store and buy something. So you had to buy your games digitally, and you had to have an infrastructure in place for when the pandemic happens, so you can continue moving in the game industry. And to me, the entire video game industry benefited from this. The entire gaming industry as a whole benefited from the pandemic, and because you had to have a infrastructure in place, like a digital store, say like a Steam or a Epic Game Store. Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, they all had to have their digital stores in place to deal with the pandemic. So to keep the digital stores, keep the game industry moving, keep the sales numbers moving in the video game industry. So Capcom capitalized on this. Everybody did, I think. I think the entire tech industry as a whole benefited from the pandemic, because of what they had in place, and how prepared they were, So the game industry kept moving, and people were gaming, man. People were gaming, and Microsoft benefited, Sony benefited, Nintendo benefited. Valve released the Steam Deck in the pandemic and benefited from that because they stayed the course. And the PC, Apple, Linux community, they all benefited from this. So from the game industry, it's not just Capcom alone, but it just showed how important to have an infrastructure in place when a disaster strikes. When a disaster strike, and then your consumers can still buy your products digitally. So Sony, look, Sony, look, PlayStation user base is huge. PlayStation user base is huge, and the amount of Sony, the PlayStation Store was loaded with sales, with digital sales, man, and they benefited, man. Xbox did the same thing. They benefited. Nintendo did the same things. See, people were bashing the 90% of Nintendo users. I would say 99% of them spend their time bashing the Wii U. But I bet you that if you really look at the pandemic and the Wii U digital sales, you'll be shocked on what Nintendo really made. Now, let's say Nintendo never built the Switch. Just imagine if they had the Wii U, if they'd have put some power in the tablet and the console and fix the signal strength and put some storage space on the CD and keep on using it. Just imagine if Nintendo would have put all their digital games, from the NES, SNES, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, all in the Wii U's virtual console, and put all their Game Boy games all in the Wii U's virtual console. They would have made more money than what they made on the Switch. Okay, so the Nintendo benefited from the pandemic. Okay, they're just not saying anything. Okay, to a lot of people. When it comes to Capcom, they benefited, man. Okay, and it shows that when the pandemic came out, the entire gaming industry as a whole benefited from the they benefited from the pandemic because they had an infrastructure in place. If you had a digital storefront in the gaming industry and you were selling video games, you benefited because stores were closed, businesses were closed. Businesses were closed as a whole, and the only way to get your games now was digitally. Okay, the Xbox One benefited from it. Of course, Xbox One benefited from it. Sony benefited. Everybody did, man. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek fan. Board, Dark Side. Go. Peace.